So this here is the electromagnet off of a 7.3 Powerstroke. This one came out of a 2001, and it had problems with the IPR just not doing what it's supposed to do. The computer would command the IPR to run at a specific duty cycle, and it would not. It was also slow to catch up when the truck was coming down from highway speeds. That resulted in stuttering, hard shifting, that kind of stuff. If you ohm out this guy between these two pins when it's cold, it ohmed out at about 25 ohms. Spec is between 5 and 20 if I remember correctly. But most of the new ones, or the good ones anyways, are in around 10.5, somewhere between 10.2 and 10.6. If you heat it up, because it is going to see some heat inside the engine, it actually went down in resistance down to about 13.5 ohms. A good one went up by 1 ohm to about 11.5 from 10.5. So I thought I would take the bad one apart and see if there's any obvious signs of it failing, whether it's a burn mark or a bubble or a crack or something like that. Because all this is just an electromagnet. It's a whole bunch of wires wrapped around a whole bunch of times. You apply power to it, it becomes a magnet, and then the piston that's inside the IPR, the rest of the assembly, goes in and out at a certain frequency based on what the computer wants it to do, and that's based on the load that's being asked of the engine at the time. It controls how much pressure that the high pressure oil pump gives to the injectors, so they have the right amount of oil pressure to function at a given RPM or load. So that's a very basic idea as to how they work. So all it is just a solid plastic piece held in with a metal ring, and these sides are all crimped in. I've uncrimped them because I took it apart. So this ring comes out. See if I can get it out here. There you go. So that's all this is. Nothing too spectacular about it. It's just a retaining ring. And then this metal part is the body of the coil or electromagnet, whatever. So as you can see, there's some. This is all mostly just caked in burnt oil over the years. So far I haven't figured out how oil gets here, because it shouldn't. Maybe there's a crack in the body itself and it leaks its way through. That's a possibility. But if I ever find that out, I will post that as well. And here's the actual body itself. It's all one piece. There's actually a part number on it, I think, or a date maybe. (901) maybe. Hard to say. Anyhow, there is some scratches in it from when I took it out, but we do have this one spot right here that has a bit of a bulge and some burning and peaking, kind of like a burnt out capacitor, I suppose. But this is the worst part right here. You can see this crack right along here. So what's happened is inside here, the windings have become corroded and heated up, and there's probably some material in here too. And much like a capacitor, when it wears out, this whole thing has expanded some. So that way, when it heats up, it doesn't act the way it's supposed to. We might get an intermittent open or an intermittent short. Or a whole bunch of varying resistances that the computer can't keep up with. That's just a guess. I'm not an expert in this, but I'm pretty sure a crack is a bad thing. So that is that. I'm kind of wondering if you can pound this apart just to see, and I might do that. But for now, in case anybody ever wondered, that is how that is put together on the inside.